So you're not the Census Bureau when you knock on someone's door. You are a happy helper. And what we're doing is making sure that you have all of the information that you need so when the form gets to you, when the postcard gets to you at your house, you respond the way you want to respond, and you do it voluntarily versus waiting 2 months before the Census Bureau has to send an enumerator to get you to respond to the form, right? I mean, the goal here is that if these millions of forms get mailed out across the country, the response rates are what allow us to view which neighborhoods we need to get to, and we need to inform with the right kinds of information to get them to voluntarily fill out the census. The options that you have online, which will come off first. Your first notification will come off between March 12th and March 20th, right? Your second notification as a reminder, March 24th for about a week. Then you get a third reminder of a postcard. And then when all else fails and you don't call the Census Bureau to fill out the form on your phone, you don't go online to use, the online possibilities of filling out the survey, they will send you a letter in conjunction with the survey, the paper survey. Those that took the census in 2010 may remember, maybe in 2000 someone will remember. It is a short form with 10 questions that everyone will get. Those that don't respond online, approximately about mid-April, right? So folks will get that paper form with a letter. Those that are used to getting the paper form and they want the envelope, the cute envelope to shove it in and to do the paper version, they can and will be available to do that. There will be 59 languages that will be made available for those individuals that want or need a language guide. So those are available as soon as, they're available right now online. So for those that may need a little bit more of a nudge on that track because of the language issue, there's 59 languages available online. 12 languages will be available online from the online survey. Right? So they can click and take the survey in 12 different languages. You have a question?
Yes. What if you live in a two-family home? Will both of them get the census or just?
Are you the owner?
Yeah.
Okay. So, depending if you're the owner, no. If that house is considered a two-family house, right? And if that house has 2 addresses, so the Census Bureau has conducted in the last 2 years their own system for verification of addresses. So if I live upstairs and I've been getting mail on apartment B, there's no such thing as an apartment B, but I've been putting apartment B so you don't open my mail, then yes, the Census Bureau now knows, based on the Postal Service's delivery of mail to apartment B, that there's an apartment B. So now they've created for you this apartment B name of a form that's going to go to apartment B and a form that's going to go to apartment B. So they will know. And the way they know is obviously if someone's used, like I used to live upstairs in my parents' apartment, my parents' house, and I never put an apartment number because I was like, this is silly. I want all the bill to go to my mom because I'm at her home, and then accumulate it and give it to her. I run upstairs. That's what I did, so I never did floor, first floor, second floor. We used to do that when there was tenants. Right? Because it was a tenant that, and it's a 2-family. Why eliminate it all? Why? Because then I want to get cable that was a 1-family. So I want to get my house. But the point is that depending on the way in which mail has arrived, right? They don't know it's you personally that is in the second floor. They just know that someone's been getting mail on the second floor, and that's what they're doing.
So if the person lives downstairs, you have to ask them. Say to my son lives downstairs, so I would ask him if he gets the census form before I fill out the form.
So if your son is downstairs and your son lives in your home, even though he gives you a little something for the downstairs, you either are going to fill out a form for him under you, right? Or he can go online and fill out his own form as he wishes and say that he lives there. If the Census Bureau finds that there's duplicates or way too many forms coming out of that 1-bedroom, they may call up. And that's why there's a phone number that you will need to provide on the form. They may call up to verify, right? Because what they don't want is for someone to just use a home as the point of address. That messes up reapportionment too. That messes up our district, right? When we draw the political district lines, when we distribute funds in a neighborhood, right? Like not all those kids live there, right? They should be going to another school district. And they are, but they're not being counted in that district because of the current situation.
So what we're trying to do here, are Oh, sorry. So what we're trying to do in Brookdale is that we're going to start utilizing the iPads and phones to go to inpatient beds. Now, if somebody fills it out as they're being discharged, right, they still don't have to do something else if it's at their house because it logs in. So they can only see a form, but they did it here. We're okay?
So the hospital.
Because it's not the hospital address.
Yeah. So this is the thing, right? The hospital is not a long-term facility.
Right.
The hospital, you have, it's sort of like, I'm going on vacation tomorrow for 2 weeks, but I live on my address. So I fill out the form on my address. That person in your care is not necessarily going to get double counted if they're filling out their form here, right, with their address at home. It's like, again, this is not long-term care. So they're using their home address. So that's it. They filled out the form for their address at home.
Okay.
Let me just add that you have long-term facilities. That's where they do the counts.
Right, well, we have two on campus here, but part of where we almost get 2,000 people a day plus our outpatient clinic.
Yeah, no.
So what we're doing is we're sending folks out so that, because folks don't want to do it at home, they'd rather do it that way.
And they probably won't do it when they get home anyway.
Right,
So,
okay,
yeah, catch it where you can.
okay.
That's fine.
Right? These questionnaire, these technical mobile sites, right? The Census Bureau is going to have pop-up mobile sites where they're going to set up. Right? I know some of our neighbor units right now, they're having membership meetings, 300, 400, 500. We're going to get a few of the census takers, but I know how long that process takes. Even though there's 10, there's questions, there's, mental stimulation about race and ethnicity questions. There's things that are going to happen. So we have about 50 tablets as well that we will be supplementing some of these larger events. So that's great that the hospital is taking that taking that proactive step. Just make sure that whoever's filling it out is also taking into account everyone else who lives in their house, right? Especially if they're primary, if they're head of household. That's just something to consider. And we'll take it.
Military. My son is military.
Yes.
So I put him on my address. He gave me the job.
Okay, but does he live full-time at your address?
So he's in Dublin for like the next 6 weeks.
Yes, so you do not count him at your home address because he's not at your home address.
Only when he comes home, he stays.
Yes, but he will not be at your address on April 1st.
It's where you spend most of your time. It's the same with college students as well. So they're being counted where they spend most of their time.
Yeah, and, a lot of folks ask about, you have a lot of scenarios where there's new housing development that is coming up quickly in certain neighborhoods, and they won't be ready until July 1st, right? That kind of thing. Well, those individuals, that, 400, 500 new families will be counted wherever they were on April 1st, and then when they move into the neighborhood, they no longer get counted for the decennial census, which is the building block. And there's numerous other surveys that the census conducts, so just FYI, I know in Brooklyn, there were census forms that were sent out late last year, early last year, and some folks were like, I already did the census. Yes, you did a census survey, but you did not do the decennial census. That has yet to come out. So if you get any of those folks that say that they already filled out the form, you probably were part of a lot of different surveys. American Community Survey, Current Population Survey were all being conducted last year in different counties throughout the country, but not at the same. That kicks off in the entire country some point in March. Certain neighborhoods in New York City, they might start a little earlier, youth quarters and homeless shelters, as well as long-term care, they're going to start earlier. Let me just go back here.
Yes, sorry. I'm Ben. I'm the Deputy Grants Director at NYC Census. And I just wanted to, the things that I passed out earlier are a pledge card. The small postcard sized one is a pledge card to pledge to do the census. So please do fill that out. The larger one is a volunteer form. So if you're interested in volunteering, we're going to be having, we have 157 grantees as part of this program. Who are also doing things like pop-up centers. I also wanted to just flag that every single one of the libraries will be a resource center in the Brooklyn Public Library, Queens Public Library, and NYPL. So those will all be great resources for you to refer people to as well if they want to find a computer or tablet or need assistance or guidance filling it out. So those are all places in addition to in the hospital.
So Ben, you weren't here earlier when we handed out the labor accounts pledge pledge cards, which is pretty much the
Great.
same bucket of information.
Yeah.
But just FYI, if anyone already filled out, don't go get all, oversaturated with pledge cards. I think,
Yeah.
we get the point, we want everyone to fill it out, and we want to be able to follow up with those, just to make sure that you do the census.
Yeah, but let me just prevent, so we actually have a satellite,
That's been-
in the hospital, so will this be considered one of these percentages?
That's been.
Good question.
Yeah, we will. I mean, let's make sure that we add it to the map. If the library is considering it a partner, then we should.
It's right here in our lobby.
Yeah, I think it is because it's the Church Avenue site that
Okay.
we're using in while they're in the construction site. I'll check tomorrow.
Okay.
Now, Brookdale, Brooklyn One, right, they're all part of the
Yeah.
Census 2020 grantees that were in fact granted throughout the city. There's numerous census partners. Don't be shocked if you're, faith-based organization or the place where you go sign up, for your child for childcare or any kind of aftercare. They're probably also participating in the census. The United Federation of Teachers, along with the Council for School Administrators and Principals, right? They're all participating in the census process. So don't be shocked if your schools are actually having a census day or a census week, because they're all pretty much active and taking it all seriously.
Very basic question. Another one is, you mentioned fill out form, each one.
Okay.
So if I don't want to volunteer and all this stuff, how do I do mine?
Okay, so if you don't want to volunteer, do not fill out the neighborhood, organizing census committee in your neighborhood, right? But the form is no longer, it's a survey, right? It's online. So back in the day, we would say the form in terms of the census form, right? So the census form will be active and the digital version will be live on the website by March 12th. A link.
Okay, so what you're looking at there is what the card will look like when it comes in the mail. So when you get it, it'll give you a code and instructions on how to go on the internet.
Additional
Take the
public
census.
that we donated?
It's gonna come to you. It's gonna come to your address, not to you personally, but it'll come to your address.
So I have a question. I have a question about that though. So the fact that we're trying to do this remotely, are we gonna need an access number per person that we do it, or we just get like an app? Like how do we load that onto these iPads?
So what's gonna happen is the person will have received the card at mail, at home, and then if they bring it with them, you can help them to log in.
But what if they don't?
You can call the number, there's a number.
I'm sorry, you don't need the code. You don't need the code to complete the census.
Okay.
It's just that the notification that they're gonna mail out is going to have a code on it, because the system just wants to tie it to an address. But you don't need a code to respond to the census. Like, I can walk into the library, go onto the website, and complete it from my household if I know like there's 5 people living in my house.
But can I download it onto? Is it an app or do I?
It's not an app, it's a website.
It's a website.
Right, so you can go on 2020census.gov, and then on March 12th, there's gonna be a link on our website, on the federal website that you can click on to complete the census for your household.
Okay.
Okay, so what's being handed now, it's being handed out, so everyone has it, and I believe it's in your PowerPoint, is that right? It's a sample letter? Okay, so the sample letter, we just blew it up a little bit so you have it. This is what's coming out in a postcard form to your household, right? The census is not targeting you, Amy or Lucia or Margot. They're targeting your address. They're working with the post office to target an address, a household location, right? So the coding on this form is a coding that IDs your household, your address. So once you use the online access, and you don't have this, because how many times we need to pay a bill, or we don't happen to have it on hand, right? Or we need to search for stuff, or just pay whatever. You don't need the code. This code is for their intents and purposes of making sure that that address that you live in got counted. So you can go online, put in your address, apartment B, and make sure you got counted, and they'll cross-reference that with the code and apartment B. And if they get a few, right, in apartment B, then they're all cross-referenced with that code. So you should do that as soon as you get the form. April 1st is that cute date that the the census has on their forms that says, where were you on April 1st? That's the mark. That's the snapshot of the country that they want to capture. It's a scientific survey, man. It's math and science. That's what this is, right? It's a statistical survey. So they need a moment in time for you to have an understanding of how you should fill out the form based on where you live in that point in time.
I just want to clarify something. My name is Afir from I'm a partnership specialist, and I work with the U.S. Census Bureau. I run the federal office. So when we invite individuals to respond to the census, it's going to be a letter, right? So it's going to be mailed. It won't be a postcard first. So the postcards come after as a notification if you haven't received the census from your household. So the letter that they send out starting March 12th will include phone numbers, the link to respond to the census, all the information you need to self-respond. If you don't self-respond, that's when they start sending out postcards reminding you to respond. And as she mentioned, if you don't respond to the census, we'll send out an enumerator a couple of times to your apartment. It could vary from 2 to 3 times that they send out an enumerator if you don't respond. And the last thing they'll do is send out a questionnaire for you to respond. Another great thing that they have.
The questionnaires before the enumerator.
I'm sorry?
The questionnaires before the enumerator.
No, so the questionnaire will be the very last thing. The questionnaire will be the very last thing that they send out. They're going to send out the enumerator. They're going to try to do the enumerators first. Because enumerators start going to do the door-to-door starting 2nd week in April. But you have until July 31st to actually, you have until July 31st to respond to the census. So they're giving you 1 month to self-respond before they send someone to do the door-to-door. They'll try that, right? If that doesn't work, then the last final resort is the questionnaire that they send out. Because essentially, as you said, they don't want to waste resources sending out paper mail to everyone and then people don't respond. It's a waste of resources, right? So again, we're trying to cut back and trying to make it convenient for people to respond to the census on their own, while essentially also, cut back in funding and look for easy to be more operational. Lastly, we have a system called Roam, in which now we use to do our outreach to see areas that historically, based on 2010 response rates, they was in the neighborhoods that are low response areas. So what's going to happen once the census is actually available? You can go onto Roam, census.gov/Roam, to actually see on live view how people in your community are responding to the census. So that gives you an idea as to whether outreach that we've done before the census, if it's working or not, or whether we need to be putting more resources into doing outreach while the census is going on. Again, you'll be able to get a live view of whether the numbers are changing in your community based on how many people are responding. And the website is census.gov/Roam.
Questions?
I have an online question. The question was, if you have a child that's away at college, how do you count that child in the census?
You want to listen?
So she mentioned that you're going to count that child where she stays the majority of the time. So
Okay.
she's always, most of the time she's going to be at college, so she's going to, whatever address that she's staying at while she's away from college, she should be counted there. If they go to college and they return home most of the time, so if they're home most of the time, you're going to count them in your household. But if they're not in your household for the majority of the months out of the year, they're still counted where they stay the majority of the time.
And so kids away at college are counted. The census is sent to them at their school. So let's say your kid is in school in Buffalo, or so they'll reach out to them. They're also on campus.
Right.
All right. Thank you.
I mean, the reality is that wherever they are going to expend their resources, right, wherever they're going to be registered to vote, wherever they're going to have the impact on the neighborhood, that's where they need to be counted.
Okay.
So I have a 2-part question. One, covering that. My son goes to Buffalo, but that's not his mailing address. So that's one curiosity. And then the other question about the ethnicity question. So even though we get folks that do it in the hospital bed, most people don't want to claim their Black and Latino roots because they don't want somebody to come for them. How does that now impact whatever resources? I'm being, I'm saying, being honest. Like, so will I end up putting other to make sure that? No, I'm just telling you what I'm trying to figure out what we're going to deal with when people are asking these questions, or do I do this, or I just want to know, how does that then affect resources based off of that?
Okay, so as far as, we have this thing with the NAACP, part of the NAACP as well. We're saying check mark. Because a lot of the resources that's out there, we get it because people lack resources. Okay? So when you have people who are not sure what they want to put, you have to explain to them how it's tied to resources.
Gotcha.
As far as your child being in college, once again, your child, wherever that child spends most of their time, that's what you need to have filled out for. He or she probably will receive mail.
And they're counted as part of group quarters.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, they're counted as part of group quarters. So their GIS, wherever they are physically, is not necessarily as important, because they're counted as part of the university structure.
Gotcha.
I was also just going to add one thing in response to your first question, which is that I think part of the outreach and education that we should be doing should also be educating people about Title 13, which Barb mentioned in the presentation, which is a law that, because of misuse of census data in the past, from Jim Crow through the internment camps of Japanese Americans, all of these things led to finally laws being written that, since they were written, have not been broken, and anybody who was to share any piece of anybody's personal information on the census is subject to 5 years in jail or $250,000 fine. And so those laws are in place because of the historical abuses of census data, and people should be aware of that, and that should be part of the message that we're ready to share with people when they're asking those questions.
And if you get an eye roll regarding, government not wanting to use data, the reality is that sometimes we share more information to complete strangers that are not bound by federal government guidelines than we do, than we will to actually the Census Bureau. And then there's a lot of other positives, especially for those communities that want to be able to say that they were in a physical space at a specific point in time. I know that when we did 2010 census and there was a push for a path to citizenship with a lot of our communities, and there was a lot of conversations around, if you were in this country before September such and such and 2011, then you would be eligible versus, there's a lot of talk all the time when folks are giving dates, not necessarily our favorite thing to do, but the reality is that you can actually also use the census form to be able to indicate whether or not you were at a specific point in time. And so as an individual for about, I think it's 72 years, that the census is closed off to anyone from the public knowing the way you share. As an individual, if I want to be able to provide proof that I was in the country at a specific point in time in 2020, then I can use the census form as some of that. And so that was one of the talking points that we had in 2010, especially because we have a lot of our communities that simply don't like government having more information than what they do using the normal function. Right?
And I just add that, we have a lot of seniors in the community that are very trusting. And we must remind them that the census won't be calling them to ask for Social Security
Or credit card information.
or just gift cards or any of that. So there is a website we can report rumors like that. But we have to be mindful when we're dealing with our seniors to remind them that the census is not going to call you. They're not going to ask you for your Social Security.
So I wanted to mention one thing about the question about race. He's not here anymore. So another thing about the census district is that you can actually report your race. So historically there used to be check boxes, right? So if you don't identify with any of the races that are there, you can check some of the race and put whatever race that you identify with, as well as sex, right? If you don't identify with male or female, there's going to be another line that you can write what you identify with. So they're really making it very inclusive, so people feel comfortable to respond accurately to the census. Because what's very important is that you do respond accurately to the census, so that we have a great idea of how your community looks, so that people will be able to provide the right type of resources you need. So
Yes, and this is not a technical response to the race question, right? So, there's the technical response, and then there's the reality that this is also not like an intellectual stimulating exercise. This is the way in which the U.S. federal government right? Oversees civil rights laws and is able to track EO employment issues, are able to track whether or not certain
still have
schools are getting a
protections.
certain amount of funding based on a certain number of students that are of a certain race or ethnicity, right? This is the ways for them to actually enforce civil rights laws and other laws that are governed based on race, throughout the U.S. So this is not, there's a reason why there are certain questions on the census board. A lot of social scientists and analysts like to use the census data in order to create a story about who our neighborhoods are, who they were, and how they're changing. But the reality is that the census data is used to be able to properly deliver services, properly understand the demographics and its connection to the kinds of educational attainments, right? The kinds of programs that we need and that we use, and health, right? This is the way they correlate, health tracks and the ways in which certain populations acquire certain diseases or have, certain things that impact certain communities. And so that is, the point when Census 2000 came out with the opportunity to check them all, right? Like, Latinos all got crazy and I'm not white, I'm not black, I'm not Asian, and we kind of checked them all off. There's the other thing that Latinos have their own category in race and ethnicity, and you're Mexican, Puerto Rican, or Cuban, or other, and if you're other, state what you are, Dominican, Ecuadorian, Colombian, right? Folks from three nationalities. But then there's the race question, and right away Latinos go straight up to the other. And then right Dominican, other, and right Mexican, other, and right, their ethnicity. And so, there's always been a back and forth about, how you identify. The reality is that these race and ethnicity questions are truly based on enforcement measures, and they're based in ways in which our federal agencies use data to track trends. That's, if it really is the way in which we identify them, we probably want to see some of these categories the way they are. They've tried to change the form, and all those exercises happened 3 or 4 years before the execution of the census. So, if anybody wants to have a conversation about how to change certain parts of the census for 2030, sure. But the census right now is the way it is for 2020, and we fought back against a change or an add-on to the question last year because it didn't undergo those processes of, tests and things and responses the way communities are. So let's try to be clear. There's 10 questions, really short and sweet. Back in the day, there used to be 1 out of 6 forms were long forms, and they asked you whether you had a septic tank, how you get, how long it took you to get to work, and what your transportation mode was. It asked you everything. They realized people answered less before, and so they spread that out over the last decade into a lot of different surveys throughout, different counties in the country. So it's become very simple. 10 questions, right? 10 minutes.
10 minutes every 10 years. If you don't do it right this time, we wait another 10 years to have access to it.
Anything else? Questions? Comments?
I just want to thank you guys all for coming, and then on top of that, to just mention that, we in the healthcare community, we make a tremendous impact on our patients on whether or not they fill out the census. They trust us as physicians, as nurses, as technicians, as clerks, as just hospital administrators. The fact that you are in the healthcare industry carries a significant amount of weight with our patient population. And we're all here today so that we can get more educated about the census. So just encourage you guys to just carry that advocacy out of this room and really educate your patients, educate your communities, and encourage everyone to fill out the census. People are going to trust you, and you should use that because this is going to benefit all of us. Okay? Thank you guys all so much.
Amy, can I get a photo with y'all moving up so folks who don't mind taking
I'm all about
Yeah,
that
if
side.
folks want to be a picture with the sign.
Yes.
For a minute.
Pictures are always good. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was informative. I'm going to, every time I go to something for the census, I'm going to live stream it. If you have any questions, you can put them in the notes and I'll ask them. See, somebody had some good questions, so I answered them, so that was pretty cool. All right, so this is Bert taking out of context. This is the community part of stuff that I put up. I hope it's informative, and I believe that the church that I attend, Bethesda Healing Center, will be strongly involved in census taking this time around. So I'm going to go get in a picture, but actually I'm going to leave this on for a second while I wander to the front. So if anybody tries to steal you, just start yelling and stuff like that. So I'm going to leave you guys when I go up there.
Yes, you definitely have to.
Okay, so you guys didn't hear any of that, but that was really interesting. I was up there talking to him about trying to make sure that we get people to respond before it gets to the knock phase and before people start to feel uncomfortable and stuff like that. So I met some really great people who are doing the same thing, community stuff, and it was very interesting. So, I'm going to get a bunch of these and put them around the church and start putting it up so people know that there's census, that they can count us and stuff like that. So that's going to be pretty cool. And they're taking pictures and stuff. And, I'm shy. I'm not taking any more pictures because I'm shy. Hi, Jess. How are you? So if you saw this, if you found it was for every time I go to a census organization, I'm going to record video, and we'll all learn more together. It's very important, no matter where you are, no matter what your dealio is, count them for your dealio. So many things I think are important, and I think community stuff is very important. I was also talking about grants. There are a few grants left. So if you're watching this, I know you guys aren't seeing me, but hold on a second. I'm just showing you all the beautiful people around me. I'm sorry, no more pretty people, just me. There you go. So there are some grants that are still out. They said a lot of grants closed out. There was one last Friday to try to get the stuff that we need for the census, which is, like if you're a church, you're going to need like 3 or 4 iPads that can go to the website to pull it up so that they can put the information in. One of the biggest goals is trying to get people to respond to the census before it comes to the point of they're getting the knocks on the door and everything else. We don't want the community to feel like they're being marginalized, if they're afraid of reporting and stuff like that. It's better to go to people that you trust, hospitals that you trust. And people know I make fun of Brookdale all the time, so I'm not going to go into that. But hospitals that you trust, churches that you trust, you should be able to go to them and fill out the information. I'm not sure if there are any more paid census jobs available. I was going to ask that question when I was up front because all this is just for the volunteer organizations. I know the actual physical count might not start until March, but I'm thinking maybe there might be some jobs that are still available on the level. Like I put in for jobs for the census and I haven't got my answer back yet. I got one telephone call actually from Albany. They were supposed to send me information back. So I'm not sure if there's still a chance to get a job working for the census. But there's definitely a lot of stuff out there for people doing community organizations. I got to turn it around. So they were just doing boomerangs and stuff like that. Hold on a second. The folks were doing boomerangs in the front, taking videos and stuff like that. But this is Brookdale. I've been in this room many times when I worked for Health First for meetings and stuff like that. And actually, when I worked for Health First, we used to come here. This is where we came to get all of our money and our benefits. They didn't do it like we would sit in this room. I love coming here because I would walk out of here with a couple of grand in bonuses. Back when I worked for Health First, it's very funny. All right, so anyway, this is it. Census. This is the great information and stuff like that. I'm hoping that one of the people who works on the federal level, I can catch them on the way out before I pack up and ask them any questions. And, especially if you're looking for jobs. The census is something that's great to have on your resume. And I hope that maybe there are some federal jobs still left, but I'm not sure. And I've also running into faces that I've seen before at other events and stuff. So it's very interesting. Yeah, so I'm packing up. Anytime, man. It's no good being nosy if I can't share the information with people that I love, all my friends out there. So it's good information. We can't let fear stop us from getting the monies that we need for federal projects, for helping people out and stuff like that. You can't let fear keep you from doing stuff that can benefit the entire community. So you want to fight fear, See, now it's backwards on this camera, but yeah, it's you want to make sure it's counting. So I'm going to get these and drop them by church so that they have them, and let's get the census counted and stuff. I'm also glad there are no people who steal, because I left my iPhone just haphazardly around. I got to stop doing that. If anybody's interested, when I get back, I came all the way from the Bronx to Brooklyn, so I might try to do a show tonight. We'll see. If anybody's interested, I'll appreciate it. I'll do a little and it'll show this afternoon. Yeah, I'm definitely, just bear with me, like, I'm gonna wait, because they're coming this way, I don't wanna disturb them. So, hold on a second. Those folks down there, some of them are for the hospital, and some of them are just organizers, but I'm really not sure if there are any more paid positions left. Like, I put in January for this to work for the census. And I definitely don't mind, definitely do not mind volunteering, but you know, brother, because there's a little bit of extra change in his pocket, so. Excuse me, do you know if now we have the community organization jobs, are there any more paid jobs for the census still available? Some of my folks want to know if there's any more paid positions for the census.
From what I know, it's the UScensus.org.
UScensus.org. That's what I applied through. So you think they might still be able to find stuff through that?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so there you go. That's one of the answers. So there probably are some. Thank you so much. There probably are some paid jobs that are still available. I should have turned the camera around, but I was able to grab somebody real quick. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully that will work out. I should have grabbed more of these. I only got 2. I'm going to go up there. See, at the end of meetings, people don't like to take stuff back. I'm going to show you. If you're a burgeoning community person, if you wait to the end, water and giveaways are usually left because people don't want to take things home. So you try to get those and stick them in your bag as you're going out. So I'm hoping I don't ruin these on the way out the door. But now that I've waited, like, I got an entire packet of information on everything from daycare centers to small jobs and stuff like that just by waiting until the guy, I watched one of the guys that was doing it, and I saw how he was getting tired and frustrated. So I just waited until he was done, and he left all the stuff, even his stuff from his office, he left behind because he just wanted to go home. So I was able to get extra information. So that's how I get it. That's how I get some stuff. So right now I'm going to try to grab some more paperwork, some more things for us to put up around church so people can see it. Community activists, get on your job. You know, let's make things safe for our people. Let's get money for our federal programs. And the thing is, one of the things I did learn as I'm about to sign off is that the Department of Labor is trying to outsource job training programs, and they're willing to put them in churches while you still have people in office. Like in New York, Cuomo and de Blasio love to take federal state money and funnel it into faith-based programs for the community. So if you're a church or a community organization and you have a fellowship hall or a tech room like the church that I attend has, you should reach out to them and say, hey, Workforce One can put a training site inside our church, and they will beef up your technology center to do it. Like one guy I was talking to, he said, right now, essentially, if you want to be a web designer, because that's the future, everybody's going to be designing their own website and stuff like that for businesses. Everyone's going to need a website designer. And they teach you how to design a website from scratch and how to optimize using programs and stuff like that. He said that Workforce One, the program is free. They just need some place to host it. So if you're part of a church or a community organization, reach out to them. You know, if you own a daycare center and it's connected to the community and you have a big open space that you can quickly convert into a classroom for someone to come in and teach computer classes at night, do that. They're willing to put the money in your hand. And as things change, de Blasio will not be mayor forever, and Cuomo will not be governor forever, and I'm not sure if these programs are going to last once they go. So you might not think the programs are great or whatever, but take advantage of what's available, you know? So still go to the census.gov, see if anything is available. I'm waiting to hear back. We'll see what happens. You know? All right, so I love you guys. That's it. I'm gonna go sneak up and grab some stuff for church, and I'll talk to you guys later on. God bless you. Peace. This is Bert. Be community active. Get out and do stuff. Go do stuff. Bye.
I'm not saying that, right? But I'm just saying that if you know somebody who's in the system online, take it as advantage. Because you don't know what they're doing.
There's a little friction between community organizers and the feds. That's very interesting. All right, so I'm going to stop being nosy on the other little discussion. See, if I had the Note 10 Plus like my wife has, I could actually tap on the screen and the boom mic would actually catch their conversation. This is really great for being nosy and eavesdropping on people. It really works well. All right, so good night, folks. I'll talk to you soon.